class, this is Dr. O'Connor. In this video, I'm going to go over the syllabus. So here is the syllabus, and I have office hours on Monday from 1:45 to 2:45, Tuesday and Thursday from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m., and those are in Blackboard Collaborate. And I'll be doing another video to show you how to access office hours in Blackboard Collaborate. Wednesdays, I'm going to do office hours in my office in SI 328 from 11:15 to 12:15, so till right before class. So as far as if you can't make it to office hours, then you need to schedule another time to meet with me. So just send me an email. If there's need for a private conversation, what have you, again, we can schedule a session, and all you need to do is email me. I normally answer emails within 24 hours during the work week, and if emails are sent over the weekend, they'll be answered the following Monday, or if Monday's a holiday, the day after that holiday. Usually if you don't receive a reply to your email, that means I did not receive the email, and that's usually due to the CSU email filters. So you really should use your CSU email address for all email correspondence. So COVID-19 is, the pandemic is still with us, and it is serious. So while you're in class on campus, I do recommend that when you're in my classes that you wear a mask. It's not required, of course, but it's strongly recommended. That way you protect not only yourself, but the other people around you. And if you do happen to test positive for COVID, you need to stay home. In fact, if you're sick at all, you need to stay at home. Seating is not permitted in the first 2 rows of the lecture hall, and you're not allowed to eat or drink during the 50-minute lecture. If you need to eat or drink, please leave the classroom. I will record lectures as long as there are no technical issues. So you'll be able to find the lectures in the Panopto folder, which is on the left side of the Blackboard homepage. You can read this at your leisure, the course description. As far as required course materials, you're going to need your e-text and the Mastering Chemistry assignments. So these have been included with your tuition through Include Ed, and you'll have access to the materials before the first day of the class. If you opted out of Include Ed, you are going to need to purchase an access code. And if you need to purchase an access code, you purchase it through the link on Blackboard. If you try to purchase it elsewhere, you're not going to be able to access the materials. So what you do is you go either to the Blackboard homepage or the Start Here folder, and first you go to the Brightwave course materials link in order to get your access code. Then, once you have your access code, you click on the Mastering course link in order to enter your access code, and then you'll have access to your e-text and the assignments. This needs to be done before the first day of class because I expect everyone to have Chapter 1 read before the first day of class. You're going to need access to Blackboard for your course materials. You're also going to need an external webcam, a computer camera, or a phone camera for the exams. That's important. If you don't have that stuff, you're not going to be able to take the exams. So you need the webcam, computer camera, or the phone camera. You will need a scientific calculator. I will not permit you to use cell phones or programmable or graphing calculators for exams. You can pick up a TI 30X scientific calculator, and you can usually get them for about $10 to $12. Be careful if you go onto Amazon. I've seen these calculators up to $35, and that you don't need to spend that kind of money. I also have video links to lecture problem help videos posted on Blackboard. You also will need to read the chapter objectives and know which text sections you need to read before each lecture. So you, as the student, are responsible for keeping up to date with assignments, quizzes, and the textbook reading. I expect you to read that textbook before coming into the lecture so you understand what it is I am talking about during lecture. So you are going to be graded on there'll be 10 required mastering assignments, and we'll drop the lowest score. So you're going to be graded on 9 out of 10 of those. Dynamic study modules, you'll be graded on 20 of those. They're each worth 2.5 points. Okay. Quizzes, there'll be 14 quizzes throughout the semester. You get to drop the 4 lowest quiz scores, so you're only graded on 10 of the 14 quizzes. We have 3 exams. They're each 100 points. And then we have a comprehensive final exam that is worth 200 points. You must complete all your assignments, your quizzes, and everything in order to succeed in this course. For example, I've had students get A's on all of the exams in the final exam and still receive a C or even a D in the course, and that's because they did not complete their assignments or their quizzes. So all of the work counts towards the final grades, and there will be no exceptions. So you can read about the 10 homework assignments. Also, with each homework assignment, there's an adaptive follow-up that usually is due the day after the due date for the assignment. And the adaptive follow-up, it's worth 1 extra credit point. If you scored an 85% or higher on the homework assignment, you'll automatically be given the 1 point extra credit. But if you got below an 85% on the assignment, then in order to get that extra point, you need to do the adaptive follow-up. So these dynamic study modules, I believe there are 28 of them posted, but you're only going to be graded on 20 of them. So you need to master the material in the dynamic study modules in order to get the points for them. And the dynamic study modules are nice because they give you questions based on the material that you're struggling with. So the dynamic study modules are different for each student. Again, there'll be 14 quizzes, and a quiz will post every week, and it will have a due date associated with it. There will be no makeup quizzes, no makeup assignments in this course. Exams, again, we have 3 midterm exams worth 100 points each. After each of the exams, a cleanup quiz will post, and this is worth 5 extra credit points. So, for example, if you had an exam that consisted of 20 questions and you got 16 correct out of the 20, that means you got an 80% or an 80 out of 100. If you scored 4 out of 5 on the cleanup quiz, you can think of that 4 points as being added to your exam score to give a final score of 84. So, those, you should always take the cleanup quizzes. That's 15 extra credit points that you can earn during the semester. I do not give makeup quizzes or makeup cleanup quizzes for any reason in this course. So it's a one-shot deal. The final exam is cumulative. It's over chapters 1 through 10, and it's worth 200 points. And you'll have 50 multiple choice questions. Grade calculation. I show you how to calculate your own grade in the syllabus here. And so, if at some time during the semester you want to know how you're doing, go ahead and refer to this so that you can guesstimate your grade. But you pretty much know how you're doing. If you're doing your assignments, you're doing your quizzes, and you're doing well on the exams, you're probably going to do well in the course. If you're not doing your assignments and your quizzes and you're not doing well on the exams, you're probably not going to do well in the course. I use a traditional grading scale. Make sure that you've registered for your e-text and the mastering homework before the first day of the class. And again, I want you to read chapter 1 before the first day of class. This just explains how everything works with the assignments and all of that. This is our tentative schedule. And so, hopefully we'll stick with this schedule. It doesn't matter what's going on in the course. I have to cover 10 chapters for Gen Chem 1. So it's going to be fast-paced. So make sure that you check the schedule, and, we'll try to adhere to the schedule, but, things might be a little off. I might go a little faster, or we might even get behind here and there. But we can't afford to get too far behind because I have to cover the 10 chapters. Our first exam is September 28th. It's over chapters 1 through 3. And then our second exam is November 2nd. It's over chapters 4 through 7. We have a third exam, December 7th. That's through covers chapters 8 through 10. And then our final exam is December 12th, and that's from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. I tell my students all the time that they need to spend a lot of time outside of class studying chemistry. The minimum amount of time is 3 to 4 hours for every hour you spend in class. So that's 9 to 12 hours per week for this course. Most students need to spend much more time than that working on their chemistry. So we cover a lot of material in this course, and much of it can be difficult. So what you need to do is read the text before you come into lecture, take notes in lecture, and then you need to keep reading the text over and over again and do those in-chapter problems, do the end-of-chapter problems, and then you can go ahead and move on to your homework assignments. The dynamic study modules will help with some of the chemistry topics, but chemistry is different from most other subjects because you need to keep on top of it. Once you get behind, it is impossible to catch up. So don't get behind. Basically, what you learn later in the semester is based on the material that you learned earlier in the semester. So if you didn't learn that material earlier in the semester, you are not going to be able to move on. So please do not get behind with the chemistry material. You are responsible for all of the material presented in the textbook and covered in the lectures. And I'll tell you right now, due to the amount of material that's covered in the course, it is not possible for my lectures to be comprehensive. Therefore, assessments, meaning exams and quizzes, they can include material from the text that was not covered in lecture due to time constraints. So make sure that textbook becomes your best friend. I do follow the text closely in the lectures, but you still need to read that textbook. You can't just rely on the lectures to master the material. You have to keep reading the text over and over and working as many problems as you can. Okay? Attendance requirements. If you miss a lecture, then it's up to you to find out what was conveyed in that lecture. Ask one of the students that were in the lecture, okay? So it's your responsibility to read the text, keep up with the assigned homework and practice problems, and keep up to date on assignment and exam dates, and obtain any additional help you need from the tutors. So make sure you check announcements daily, including email announcements. And again, if you're absent, ask a classmate for the notes, the announcements, etc. I will be recording the lectures as long as the technology works. Sometimes it gets a bit iffy, and I'm not going to spend 10 minutes out of my class trying to figure out what is wrong with the technology. Okay? So I don't take attendance in class. My philosophy is you guys are adults now, right? You can vote, so you are adults. So therefore, you need to keep track of what's going on in the course. And if you don't come to lecture one day, that's up to you. That's fine. So I will not be keeping track or taking attendance in the lecture. You can look at the exam policies. I'm not going to go through all this stuff here. You will need a webcam or a computer camera, or you can use the camera on your phone, because for all exams, everybody must be logged into Zoom. We take the exams during the scheduled class time. Okay? And I'll talk to you more about that later. You'll also need a laptop or, a computer, or even a tablet in order to take your exams. But we'll talk more about the exams later. Some of the class rosters, they don't include some students' pictures. So if your picture is not included in the class roster, you will have to show me either your student ID or a driver's license photo. And you can usually do that either in office hours or, the day of the exam. You can even scan your student ID photo and email it to me before the first exam, but don't ever email driver's licenses. Don't do that. You can show this stuff to me in person. After you've completed an exam, you can review your incorrect exam with me in Blackboard Collaborate. Okay? I do not post exams, so you'll have 2 weeks after the scheduled exam in order to review your exam. And what I mean by review is I'll show you what you got wrong, and that way you know what to focus on. A review for incorrect exam 3 questions must be completed by 4:30 p.m. on December 9th. And there will be no review for the final exam. I don't give makeup exams in this course. The only way I'll give a makeup exam is if there's a medical emergency or a death in the family. And if so, you need to let me know before the scheduled exam. And I also need documentation. If you can't provide documentation, then you will get a 0 for the exam. So, not being prepared, waking up late, forgetting the exam date, planned vacations, a work schedule, these are not valid reasons for missing an exam. So in those cases, you would be given a 0. If you need to withdraw from the course, it's up to you to look at the academic calendar for the last dates to withdraw. And you can read the rest of this. You can read the rest of the syllabus on your own. I do not tolerate cheating of any kind. So, basically, if I even think there has been cheating on an exam, then we will go back to paper exams in the classroom. I'm fine with that. This is read the section on exam etiquette and policies, and there's some online exam rules. You need to read these. Students with disabilities, you will need to contact the Office of Disability Services. The phone number is here and the room number is here. In this course, we'll have supplemental instruction. So basically what you have is an SI leader that will hold sessions outside of class in order to review material discussed in class. So those times will be announced in class, and you know, if you decide to attend these sessions, that's fine. I have nothing to do with the sessions. If you need more help, then you can contact Task and ask them about tutoring. You can schedule an appointment for tutoring. These are the quiz due dates. And so basically your first quiz, the due date is September 9th at 11:59 p.m. And the quiz is based on the material covered on these dates here, August 29th, August 31st, and September 2nd. So you should know exactly what material you're being quizzed over. And that is it for the syllabus. So what I suggest you do is read this carefully, jot down any questions you have. I'll spend the first few minutes in our first lecture answering those questions. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.